Welcome back to the Runaway Anchor. So we are wrapping up summer with this video. We've done a lot of drinks over the last few months from our menu and some off menu, but all very summery. And we're going to finish off with 2 gin cocktails. So we're actually going to do 2 in this video, so slightly longer than normal. And what we're going to do is a simple cocktail and a complex cocktail. And the first one is going to be the Cosmonaut, which is a 3-ingredient jam-based gin cocktail. And the second is going to be a cocktail we've made many riffs on, but have never actually made on the channel, which is the Last Word, which is actually a relatively simple build. If you've built with us before, you know Last Word riff means equal parts everything, but it's got a lot of interesting flavors. And so we're going to make that video second. So we will start out with the Cosmonaut. The Cosmonaut, both of these, we're going to be using Plymouth gin. You could use London Dry gin, you could use Old Tom gin, whatever you're into. But not a flavored gin, you know, be serious. So Plymouth gin, it's a good starter gin. And this is going to use fresh lemon juice and then the jam of your choice. So that when I saw this in Steve the Bartender's book, his cocktail book, he used raspberry. So I'm going to use raspberry. I've done this with strawberry as well. And I'm using Smuckers. Like I'm using peanut butter and jelly kind of jam style. So you don't have, you know, you can make it fancy or you don't have to make it fancy. Every time I've made this drink at cocktail gatherings, it's been super popular. It's very easy for people new to gin, and the fruit really takes center stage, but the gin is still there. So I think that you'll like this one. So let's get building. All right, so this, both of these are going to be served in a chilled coupe. So knock a couple coupes into the freezer while we're building. And the first, the Cosmonaut, this is going to use 2 ounces of your gin. And we're shaking because these will both have fruit, citrus in them. 3/4 ounce of lemon juice, which is about what I squeezed. And then we're going to do 2 nice big scoops of raspberry. So I'm just going to, I don't need that anymore. Just going to reach in there. We're going to knock 1 scoop in. You are going to shake the dickens out of this thing, so. Seeded, unseeded, we're going to double strain this anyway, so don't get too stressed out about that. All right, and now we'll just add ice and shake. Flex the muscles on this one. You want to really shake that jam into it, and you should have this beautiful, nice pink foam in there. We'll grab our chilled glass. All right, double strain that into your chilled Nick and Nora or coupe. It will be a little thick coming out, so it's going to hang out in that strainer longer than normal. Go ahead and just knock it to encourage it to get down into that glass for you. If you got a lot of ice chips, that means you shook it hard enough. It's a beautiful pink cocktail. You could do lemon oil expression over the top of this if you want. I'm not going to, but you could. So this is our first of our 2 gin cocktails, the Cosmonaut. Yeah, that's basically a raspberry lemonade on steroids. Similar to the Chambord Bramble, if you've made that with us in the past. But super easy. Gin, lemon, jelly, and you're good. All right, so we're going to reset and we'll come back with the Last Word. All right, now we're going to move on to the Last Word. This was one of the first cocktails I learned how to make when we started the Runaway Anchor in 2023. It was on our first menu in spring of 2023, as was, you know, and it was a really cool menu for a bunch of home bartenders that were just making their first list. And we have riffed on this a whole bunch, especially recently. We did the Final Ward. And we did the Monte Cassino recently. The Final Say is another version, and it's always equal parts across the 4 different liquids. Sometimes it's lime, sometimes it's lemon, sometimes it's green, sometimes it's yellow for the chartreuse, but it generally always has the maraschino is very, very common in it, and usually it's gin. So not always, but that's so. For the base, we're going to be using Plymouth gin for the Last Word, green chartreuse, maraschino liqueur, lime juice, And then we're gonna put a cocktail cherry in the bottom of our chilled Nick and Nora. So chill your glass while we're mixing, and we'll get to making the last word. All right, so equal parts everything. And again, bigger the glass, the bigger the equal parts. But we're gonna do ours in a smaller Nick and Nora. So we're gonna do 3/4 ounces of each thing. So we're gonna do 3/4 ounce of our gin, 3/4 ounce of our green chartreuse. This is the more herbal of the chartreuses. So a little more earthy than the sweeter yellow. 3/4 of maraschino, and that's a lot of maraschino in most drinks. Usually it's a quarter, maybe a half. 3/4 is crazy, but in here it can stand up against the green chartreuse, which is great. And then we're going to use lime juice. Again, 3/4 ounce lime juice. And then we're just going to add ice and shake. All right, here we go. All right, put your cherry in first. Get it down there in the bottom. Try to not take too much syrup. Put that down there. And we'll double strain. This is the drink I discovered green chartreuse with. And while I like the yellow more, I still like green chartreuse. So this is the last word, the original. Yeah, still such a good drink. Like just an amazing balance of all these flavors. The gin is probably the least impactful. This was really the story of the dance of maraschino and green chartreuse. So, so there we have it. We have a simple 3-ingredient Cosmonaut with a more complex, especially in its flavor palette, of the last word. And that puts a wrap on the summer 2025. So if you've been with us all summer, awesome. Thanks for being here. And we have next week, fall menu is coming. And in videos that will feature many of the drinks from the fall menu will be coming out throughout the next few months. So thanks for being with us, and we'll see you in the next season. Cheers.